And it said TAWG.
All right, so now you may, if you would kindly, yes. All right.
Thank you.
And now our feature presentation of the evening is going to be introduced. Please attend the marvelous, magical, mystical soul before you now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's a catchy tune there. That's hard to follow. We'll do our best. Be really friendly with this microphone. I don't do how often. Cameras over here. Ladies over here. Thank you so much. Can I get a round of applause for everyone for being here? Thank you for being here now. It's the most important time to be here now. I'm here. Like I said, I don't get out often. So I left my office in Ukiah this afternoon to be here right now. So I thank myself for being here. A little under the weather, I was reminded as I arrived by loved ones, as one should be reminded that they are loved.
That was me.
Yeah, the scarf helps. Thank you. But no, I am doing better. I caught the bug. So I'm enjoying being so close to the microphone. This is like public. I'm in San Francisco. This is International Musicians right now. Open mic in San Francisco. It's so good to be here. I go by the name of Serial Muse. I also go by the name of Julie Boyce, just like you talk with, or speak with, or sing with. But I also go by Serial Muse. Some people are like, why Serial Muse? Well, why not? Why not? I started off on the radio in the Bay Area. I grew up in the Bay Area. It's good to be here in the Bay. I now live in Lake County. I grew up in the Bay Area my whole life, and I went from the Bay to the lake, which is over 10.5 feet, by the way. It's pretty insane, but it's huge. Flooded. The streets of San Francisco. What's up, Rio? What's up? Oh, it's good to be back. I get kisses by sexy people. There's actually a lot of sexy people here tonight, so give you a round of applause for being here now, sexy people. Stephanie, it's good to see you. I see a lot of familiar faces. I haven't done a lot of poetry myself, but I have crossed some stages. La Promenade, I recognize some folks. Crockett, California, I recognize some folks. So Bay Area is where I stay. It's actually where I brought the feature presentation here tonight. Thank you so much, Dan. Can everyone give Dan a round of applause? I just like applause. And thanks for following instructions. And thank you, this establishment. Thank you,
Katie back here.
And get yourself a snack. I was so grateful they had kombucha. They had no sugar kombucha. That's what I was craving on the way here. So when you're driving through Mendocino County, you get a little parched. So I'm in San Francisco, but anyhow. All right, it's 4:20 somewhere, but it's good to be here now. So that's what Julie said. I'm a poet myself, and I've been performing some pieces, but I am here tonight I am so honored to have brought E. Spoken and Joanne Babiak in the house, and I'm representing, so Serial Muse is representing their performance of Parallel Lines. And they actually both claim that I brought them together, that I am the linchpin of at least this project and their relationship. And the factor is the Bay Area and Vallejo, right? Yeah, that's where we all met. That's where this corner over here, that's where we all know each other from. And hopping from one community to another, I think it's absolutely fantastic that this place exists and gives a platform for all the beautiful people in this community. It was really, really wonderful hearing all the things everyone had to share about their community and guerrilla gardening and just how people get through the day, right? You write some poetry, you get through your day, and then you end up at Sacred Grounds on a Wednesday evening sipping a glass of wine. Sounds nice, right? So we are all very blessed. I'm blessed to be here, and I'm very honored to have brought the beautiful, lovely, talented, and sexy women right here. Everyone's sexy. Joanne Babiak and East Spoken performing Parallel Lines.
Thank you. Very nicely done. Thank you. Oh yeah, you can put your stuff there, whatever you want. Okay.
Parallel lines. Parallel lines. Parallel lines. The tracks of our trajectories speed straight ahead through time. You and I together craft the cross ties that define the content of our conversations. Deliberations about race and health, freedom and incarceration. Yeah, all that, and all of it in rhyme. Okay, some of it, yes, some of it. Parallel lines, escape the world of the classroom and the tension of the courtroom for the space of the sublime. Step out of your day-to-day. Flee the grind, leave the workplace routines far behind. Grab your pen and get that laptop going, because when each of us is on the track, we throw the world wide open. Sparks fly and the dialogue cracks with confluences that make goosebumps rise right up your back. Unleash the tempest. Let what's within unwind those thoughts and spool them out. That's what Parallel Lines is all about.
Parallel lines. Parallel lines allows us to discuss the deep-rooted issues by bringing them to the surface. So think of this as a service, better yet a framework. See, we don't undermine, we underline. Viewpoints with sharp angles, detailing conflicts, concepts with cause and effects, laying down tracks built for changing. And I swear the dynamics between us is so amazing, and you would not believe that we believe in some of the same things, different mind, different time, and yes, different perspectives. But I love your lawyer talk between the counterpoints and objectives, writing, speaking up and out about injustice. And we done found a common ground where our words are valued and respected, so rather than cross lines, we connected. An enchanted encounter left me with just one question. Joanne, how is it that you can finish my sentence?
Parallel lines.
Bravo.
Our stories will start to unfold as we go along. You will see the connection between us. So this first piece that I'm doing is called Inquiring Minds, and it's just about my story of where I grew up and everything like that. Okay. Some people say, Elaine, we love your styles and flows. I mean, your words are uplifting and speak to our soul, but yet we don't know you. I mean, your ability to connect on so many issues, one can only imagine the things that you have been through, and yet we don't know you. They even say things like, Elaine, I'm hoping that you could dig deep and tell my story for me. You see, the pain is too great and hard for me to deal with, but you have been given a gift. There's power in your words because they bring about healing. It's as if you were there, you know exactly what we're feeling, and yet we don't know you. Well, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, the youngest child of 5, where daddy disappeared sometimes 3 to 4 years at a time, so dysfunction became my way of life, and pretending is how I survived, though many nights I thought I would die, having been exposed to domestic violence, drugs, alcohol, and child molesters, abandoned by the one man that I thought would be my protector, so I had nightmares and countless of sleepless nights, because in order for me to survive, I had to fight, so I believe that I have earned the right to be mad and angry as hell, and am I ringing any bells? But yet, you don't know me? Wait. In a committed relationship for 17 years, and at first there was even passion behind the tears. Now we both did our fair share of dirt to make each other hurt, and of course, we all go through ups and downs, but somehow we knew that if we could make it through, we would make things better, and you should have seen us together. I mean, we used to meet each other on solid ground to agree and disagree, but now we only talk in extremes, and I done lost my voice behind the screens and watched as my happily ever after turned into pieces of a dream. Now I know there's someone out there that knows what I mean, and yet you don't know me? Wait. See, because ever since the days of young, my son said, "Mom, when I grow up, I want to be just like you." Now, most parents would be proud, but I wanted him to break the cycle, so I was down for a minute thinking I didn't set good examples, but I have to understand that he is just entangled in that stage, you know, young but of age, and I'm so afraid because our babies are dying like plagues, and I want so much to save him, but I know that he needs to find his own way. Now we still do those occasional hospital trips and late night stays, overdosing on dabs, and that's some real just say no for your ass, and I know that I'm crossing someone's path, and yet you don't know me? Wait. So I would like to take this time out to give a shout out and toast to all of my enemies, because I do believe under different circumstances we would have been the best of friends. So I admire you for your honesty, because you let me know exactly where I stand, and it's kind of ironic because those are the same qualities we look for in our friends, but lately I've been noticing a trend. See, once you're up here come all those who pretend they have no vested interest in what happens to you in the end, and if you don't believe me, let them in. Treating you like the latest fab and got their hand out for anything they can grab. They don't want you. They want what you have. Start digging up old dirt in your past and Facebook and trash and claiming that they got your back, but the only thing they're doing is laughing, and lately, that's all I've been attracting. So I have to take a step back to do some reflecting and retracting, and now I know the difference between who's real and acting. I'm even noticing the first ones to run once some shit goes down. Now come on. Somebody up in here ought to know me by now, and if you don't, I suggest inquiring minds get to know themselves.
I know you.
I've been there.
I know you, Poet E. Spoken Brown. We are not of the same generation, not born in the same town, nor in the same situation, but yes, I know of the things you say.
I've been there many times.
And by default, because of our continuing conversations here and there, and in the spaces where we lean into each other, I learn about you in oh so many ways. You came up in Brooklyn, me by San Francisco Bay, a world and a span of years away. So, what you gonna do when the pain and your personal history of living get you feeling blue? Inquiring minds in the group gathered here want to know a little thing or two. Open the window. Take a fresh breath. Get a different view. So throw them the words they crave, because I think there's a thread in this story that winds between them and you. You weave the words into their souls and take them in again. So take their dare. Make the share, make them feel you, make them care that your words dance, that your words fly. The anger resonates inside. The concepts expressed swirl around,
You got a free CD.
and we all breathe a sigh of relief and cast away sorrow. We feel clear about you. We are seeking our own truths too, shadow dancing on the tail end of your vocabulary, peering in our mind's eye over your verbal imagery. You are the bomb, Miss Poet Spoken E. You speak words that help us get on with our stories. Speak profoundly about today. Leave yesterday to fall away. Think carefully about tomorrow. So you see, I know you. Because a little bit of what you say and a little bit of what you see resonates within a little bit of me. So tell us your stories and help us to be free.
Good cover.
So this next piece right here is the prison system. And I'm just going to get into it because I think that it just explains itself. I pay homage to the ones that came before and opened the doors and died, giving their lives so that you and I can be free. But sometimes I feel like it was all done in vain when 400 years later we're still fighting for the same things. I mean, yes, we won the rights to walk through the front door, through the marches and the sit-ins, but nowadays stores are profiling your dividends from penny less to the very high ends, holding your dollars up to the light, acting like your money can't spend, and then they hand you down policies that say, check your bags at the front counter so that they could check out what you checked in. So I ask you, what's the difference between these stores and state prisons, huh? And those who made a fortune in 500 off the masses remain passive and offer no assistance to the poor and working classes, but then again, biting the hands to feed you have become also classic. See, they only get active when the funds are inactive. Other than that, you have no cares in the world when you're flashing your Benjamins and your Jeffersons, thinking that you were better because you were moving on up until you found out that you're still one of us, when even on your dollar bill it says, in God we must trust. So who the hell are you profiling? When any black or Latino youth will do, there is no burden of proof. It is evident that you don't need evidence when crimes are color-coded. I have seen assistants become district attorneys, promoted off the backs of me, railroaded and sent to maximum security while you maximize your securities. You see, criminal corporations and facilities is nothing but a billion-dollar industry banking off the fruits of my labor. Sounds familiar to me. Incarcerated and in chains is nothing but modern-day slavery. 400 years more, and we still ain't free. Got some jail cells riddled with disease and filled to capacities, and in others, you could rip off the entire nation and still live in a lap of luxury. But for minor drug infractions, you're locking us up and throwing away the key while convicted mass murderers and rapists become pillars of society.
Yeah.
And after my death, that's when you want to pardon me. So with my last breath, I say, may you rest in peace.
Wow. Let's go to segues. You're gonna rip that.
So I want to talk about another kind of incarceration, and that's the one that's imposed on us by people who are threats to our nation, not the immigrant population, but terror. A little while ago there was a night in Paris, and that's what I'm bringing to you now. A rose for Paris. A rose for Paris, city of light, rising from the terrors of one recent night where innocence fell and the world went to hell, except for those of us who might retell the story with a different frame. No one with a heart and love for this life will ever be the same. And yet, with our wounded spirits, we rise. We reprise these infamous minutes where the bullets bled out the happiness of a normal Friday night and turned it into a sick milestone in an ISIS fight, instead of one end-of-the-week respite for those who work each day, work hard from morning until night. Oh, believe me, we stand strong. We will be all right. We will not give in to the silencing that bullets might bring without strategic oversight. We cannot seek comfort from what now lingers in the cold afterlight of what was meant to be a crushing blow. It was not, you know. But loss of even just one life is profound. And that we are more resilient than the rat-a-tat-tat of a rifle and the horror of one battle in an urban civilian zone. We are not through with ISIS, and recall that none of us work alone. Like the rose left here for Paris, like the words laid down this night, like the tears we cry that fall like rain from the sky, the bloom is yet to unfold. To be what you're supposed to be. Live your life as an emblem of free. Raise your voices shouting liberty and keep your course, democracy. Do what you can to join in solidarity with the people who survived the attack on Paris. Do what you can to blossom and be free, just like the rose, one single rose, left here for Paris and for those who have the vision to see that a rose, emblematic of timeless beauty, still has thorns. Thank you. I have one more. It's different. And it talked about us, all of us. You'll put the context to it. It's called In the Desert. In the desert, I wander aimlessly, losing my bearings in the sandy sea, adrift and squandering precious energy on tasks I feel are not helping me. I seek a rich new territory, far from this barren stretch of scorched beauty. But for now, I am entrapped in the folds of nature's hostility and must find the lessons that this land holds for me. Feel the burn of the naked sun, shedding a light that touches everyone. For some, light holds redemptive quality. Let this piercing brightness shine down on me. Oh, it's not as if I could see the eye of the divine looking hard at me. Imagine those sun rays as a sign of eternity, radiating through thousands of miles of time and space so that we, each of us, can be a light onto all nations. Part of the lesson in this desert of the mind is that sunlight can bring light or make us blind. Vision a new reality, one where our inner flame sheds light brightly, illuminating dark places so others can see. That's the lesson that the desert offers me. In the mineral-laced, parched lands that stir only when the hot winds blow, lie secrets, hidden by centuries, buried treasures, lost in mystery, and, most important, a key. Answers to what we hope to see, traces of wisdom revealed by searching silently, marking the ways of time. I walk here virtually so I can gain perspective. I walk here figuratively so that I can free my mind, make a better day through reflecting on this place that seems so harsh and yet unlocks a paradise carved out of adversity. Harsh conditions can hold you back, or they can be a landscape that sets you free.
So this last poem, I usually say, I'm going to make some friends and new friends, and I'm going to lose some. But you know what? Truth is truth. So I think I can speak for everybody in the room when I say I am glad to see 2016 go. Because my mama, I call her vintage. Yeah, my mama became a true matriarch of the family because she's the only one left. Out of her generation, the sickest of all the children since birth, has outlived everybody. And so, you know, that's just a mark of who I will be. You know, so we had the memorial service for her brother, my Uncle Sonny, on January 6th. So he was in the military, so we had a proper military send-off for him. But what was key for me in this visual, when presenting the flag to his son, who was sitting in the middle between my mom and his daughter, they folded it, presenting the flag by taking a knee. So I thought, you know, Kaepernick was onto something. And with this, every knee. Betsy Ross was a hero simply because she made a cloth. The red, white, and blue with stars, a symbol of freedom, but yet we still nail Jesus to the cross. If only we were that convicted about the injustices and the lives lost, because the only thing ringing true is that freedom does not come without a cost. Like the genocide of our nation's first people, and if you're thinking it's the Pilgrims, then you're already lost. And contrary to popular belief, slavery was never sovereign nor ordained by God. And so the fear today is this coming of a second Holocaust. Now listen. See, because I don't expect you to feel our pain, but surely you can understand our cause and the effects of discrimination based on same-sex and who you fuck behind closed doors, where the color of your skin determines who shall live above the law, and depending on your gender, you stand to make a whole lot more. But ain't that some shit? The middle class is now the new poor, so back to pulling hangers and building walls, because the right to choose is not even yours. So privilege is a luxury that we just cannot afford unless there's equal rights across the board, so forgive me. See, because I find it hard to stand, to place my hand over my heart, to pledge to all the bullshit that I have ever been fed, when we as a people are constantly being misled. So Lord, give us this day our daily bread, and how long must we go on turning our heads in this sweet land of liberty, where we only come together in the midst of tragedy? So where the fuck are you all at? Because they're killing me. So unless you believe in false ideals and prophecies, then every knee shall